Good everyone. My name is Nafneet Anand from Fiji Times and Voice Surgical, local and global here in Sydney. I would be talking to Justin Narayan, MasterChef Australia 2021. Justin, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
MasterChef 2021. What an excitement. Somebody coming from an ethnic background with the Fiji parents and now in Australia. When did you first realize that you can be a cook or a chef?
Oh, I'm still figuring it out, to be honest. You learn a lot on that during that competition, and there's some incredible chefs and challenges that teach you a lot about yourself and a lot about cooking. And I think I still feel like I have a lot more to learn to be a great chef and be a great cook. But this is no doubt the start of what will be hopefully a very exciting journey.
So do you remember when did you actually got into the kitchen at the first time? Ever?
I would have been around 12 or 13 when I got into the kitchen. I would just watch cooking shows like MasterChef and things like that, and try and recreate something that I've seen from telly, and just really enjoyed it.
You know, the competition was wonderful. It was a roller coaster ride, I think, for each and everybody. One day we are thinking, okay, who's going to be the winner? But when did you actually realize that it's doable?
Honestly, that's such a big question. I feel like I took the competition one cook at a time, and I just tried to focus on the cook that I had in front of me, and didn't think too much about that end goal and that big prize at the end. I was just like, oh, there's still a long way to go to get there. And I guess when that final cook finished, I thought, oh, you know what, it could be anyone's game. This could be anyone's chance. I felt really good about that final cook, and yeah, that's probably when it hit me, to be honest, that last cook.
So what was the moment that exactly made you step up?
Um, I think during the competition, there was a moment in particular I had with Jock, where he was a little bit disappointed in the food I was bringing to the competition. And he was happy with portions of it and not so happy with the rest of it. And so I just wanted to make sure they didn't feel like it wasn't taking this competition seriously, and I was putting my best foot forward. And I think from that moment on, I really tried hard to keep working hard, pushing hard, and making sure my results showed on the plate.
You know, me from an Indian background and being director of Fiji Times, be with the Times, and you also put it in the same situation. Parents come from Fiji with the Indian heritage. What did you learn from them in terms of cooking?
Oh, so much. I think, being Fiji Indian, both those cultures are all about food, all about entertaining. Every wedding, funeral, we would be catering for, hundreds of people. So it's something, I just grew up with. And, someone would come over for tea at 3 o'clock, and then, tea would go longer. And then all of a sudden you have to cook dinner for them and dessert. And all of a sudden mum and, Pati and Tata can produce incredible meals with whatever's in the fridge and whatever's in the pantry. I guess it was like real life MasterChef, and they would be able to do it. And I guess I always loved being around that, loved entertaining, loved seeing people come into your home, strangers, and become friends and become family. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about our culture is that's what happens. People come over and they have a meal together, and all of a sudden, their uncle, their auntie, you're somehow related, and I absolutely love it.
I still remember that childhood times when somebody at the door just rings a bell, no phone call, not telling
Yeah,
that they're coming, they just barge in, that's it. And that is what I miss a lot in
it's
these days.
yeah. We miss it too. It's still, after COVID, it's still, honestly, it still happens for us. Like, there'll be someone unannounced rock up, see party, and then all of a sudden I got introduced to so many people every week growing up. It was a lot of fun.
You know, all of us have been going through this tough times of pandemic. We haven't visited overseas for a long, long time. Once you get a chance to visit Fiji, what spot would you love the most to visit the first?
Oh, that's a very big question. Well, I'm biased towards obviously we fly into Nandi, so I might as well make the most of Nandi. My mum grew up in Malololo there, a small village. So I'd see my nani and mama, and spend some time with family. And then my tata, he used to be, he grew up in a small town in Lambasa. Um,
Okay.
my dad's from there, and I would love to visit that place again, and just relive all the places he went and what he did. And that's a real special place, Lambasa.
Now, how were you able to blend their style of cooking, your parents' style of cooking, and that of your own to get into a situation where you have
Yeah.
won the Master Chef?
Yeah, I think food, coming south, we have South Indian roots, Chennai, and so moving from family from Chennai to Fiji, the food slightly evolved. Some of the spices were different, the produce was different, the fish was different, and Fijian curry, although same, it's made in the same technique, is so different to what you would have in South India. And then we've moved from Fiji to Australia, and again, there's different produce and different fish and different things available, and same techniques and same method, but it tastes different and it evolves. And I guess my food is just like another expression of that same story, seeing food translate from where our forefathers grew up in South India to now what it is here today in Australia. And so I loved being able to incorporate some Australian native ingredients and, incredible fish and seafood that we have here into my food. And I guess that's resulted in some really unique and really tasty food. So I've been honored to do that.
Justin, there's some connection between Chennai and MasterChef Australia because exactly the same time, around 3 years ago, I was interviewing another MasterChef 2018, Shashi Chalea. He comes from Singapore, but roots are still from Chennai and South India. What a combination. Who has been your culinary inspiration?
Culinary inspiration, honestly, would be my mum and Pati. I think they're genuinely some of the best cooks I know, and maybe I'm biased. There's a lot of nostalgia attached to the food they create, but they would honestly be my inspirations.
You know, you've been watching MasterChef for the previous sessions as well. So, what were the lessons that you learned that made you win this session?
Oh, I think there's a combination of so many different things, and everyone attacks it differently. My approach was just to take this competition one cook at a time, and enjoy every moment. Try and have fun, making sure other contestants were enjoying it as well as much as I was, and just make food that's tasty. I don't want to overcomplicate things. I think my food's pretty simple, but yeah, just do something that I would be happy to serve to my friends and my family, and something that would show how much I'm learning in this competition. So that's what I always try to do.
You know, living in Australia, what a food variety that we have in this country. If you have to choose one dish that is your favorite, what would be that?
That's such a hard question. Australian food. Yeah, there's so many things. I'm biased towards just a good, Bunnings sausage sandwich. Like, it gets me every single time. It's one of the best things.
You've been very, very gracious and humble by saying it could be anyone out of three that could win the competition, whereas inside everybody do have an urge to win it for themselves. I think you being humble, probably it's your family upbringing that has made you such.
Yeah, definitely. I think my Pati and Tata and mum and dad excellent, like, showed that really well for me growing up. And yeah, I guess it's just the way I am. And I genuinely, want to celebrate with people if they do well. And if they're not doing so well, I'll be there for them as well. And I think, that's the beautiful thing about this competition, is everyone's there to win, I guess. But, you also make a lot of friends along the way, which is really special.
You know, having so many chefs around, with the variety of cooks and especially the guides who are there, like all the people. What would you say if you have to write a book? What would be the best moment that will come on page one?
The best moment of the competition for me, I think, it would be yeah, the friendships you make. But the best moment, I think, was that second cook, just in that grand finale, when our friends and when our families walked through the door. and we ran towards them, and it had been months since we've seen them, and I think that was special. I think that's what ultimately food is about, and it's about family, bringing people together, and when you're cooking something that means so much to you, for the people in your world that mean so much to you, it's probably like the pinnacle of cooking for me. It's like cooking for the people I love the most. So that was really special to have them in the room there for those final cooks.
I understand and fully agree with you. I think winning a competition like MasterChef itself is an achievement. And what I see is everybody around the globe is celebrating that, and especially people of the Indian heritage. I was talking to the Fiji consulate yesterday. They loved it. Indian High Commission in Canberra has posted your win as a congratulatory note as well. If I have to ask you, what's on your wish list now?
Wow. Well, my wish list, I think I want to keep learning and growing in food, trying to get as much experience as I can. But I would love to, be able to create content and, create, hopefully that would inspire people to cook, and it would be something that would connect with them. And, hopefully a cookbook and a restaurant is on the cards as well. And would love to definitely visit India, and Fiji is definitely places I'd love to go back and travel and really learn more about the food there.
Talking about the restaurant and the cookbook, what would be the title?
The title of it. I still haven't got that far. I think I'm still learning a lot, but I definitely have some family recipes in there, and hopefully hero some, Fiji and Indian cuisine.
Here, me, along with the Indranil Haldar, we are coming along with a new book called Sir 2021, which is Sydney Indian Restaurants 2021. And I'm looking forward for your visit to Sydney so that I can catch up face to face. Hopefully, not later, sooner is better. I look forward to see you in Sydney.
Yes, I do. I'll take you up on that offer. That sounds like a great book, by the way.
Before I wrap up the final interview, what would be your message to all the budding chefs?
Thank you so much for your time, by the way. That was very kind. And I guess my message to people out there who are keen to get in the kitchen, keen to cook, do something in food, I would just say, give it a crack, go for it, find people that believe in you, and just back yourself, and hopefully you'll be able to surprise yourself and do some great things. So all the best.
What a wonderful conversation. Justin, I know you are the hottest cake in the country at the moment. Everybody is trying to take a bite of you. So I would let you go for your next interview. My name is Navneet Anand from Voice Article and Fiji Times here in Australia. Justin, thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One-stop answer to your Australian education and visa matters. Gemco Sydney. Dream big, achieve big. Fiji Times. Be with the times.